it in thirds, so it looks about like this. Okay, and that's going to go under your spine. And then you'll need a second one that'll be for your head, so that'll go at the top of that setup. Okay, and then we're going to come and recline back on that setup. So you'll sit right in front and lengthen your spine along that trifold blanket. And then the second blanket would just go under your head, not under your shoulders. And then you could decide on a position for your legs. They could be feet flat. You could extend them out. Or you could also do a bound angle with your blocks underneath your knees. Okay, so we're going to just stay there for a few minutes. Coming into a nice soft breath. We are working on our Warrior 3 today. It's a challenging pose. So we'll do a lot of baby steps to get there. And one of the most important things is having our upper spine in rather than rounded. So if we're trying to balance and our spine is rounded, we'll tend to feel heavier. It'll be harder to hold ourselves up. So we'll be working a lot on the upper back strengthening today. But for now, just allowing a softening. Collarbones broadening, shoulders relaxing, lower back relaxing. The theme of class today is called airplane mode. So we're going to be working a lot with arms in airplane position. But also thinking about the concept of what airplane mode means. So this is inspired by something my teacher is always saying. He says, turn off your external devices and turn on your internal device. So when we put our devices on airplane mode, when we're on a plane, it's so that there's no interference, no outside signal coming in. And I've gotten in the habit of using airplane mode when I'm not using my phone. Of course, you might not be able to get calls depending on your phone, but I use the Wi-Fi and I'm able to still get calls on my phone, but then I don't have all that cell phone signal coming into my device all the time. There are advantages to this. So as you continue to take a couple more moments, thinking about tuning more inward rather than to those outside signals. So it is known that electromagnetic frequencies, EMFs, can affect our cellular biology. It can affect the plants, the animals, our biology as well. It can affect our nervous systems. So the more we're on the devices, around the devices, the more amped up our nervous systems might get because we're being exposed to those signals. We think about it, those cell signals go from far away. They penetrate through buildings. So of course, they're also penetrating through us as well. Let's take 3 more cycles here. And I learned in the past year or two that I have a sensitivity to it. So some people are affected by it more so than others. I was getting blisters when I was going to certain locations and I couldn't figure out why. Eventually I put things together and realized that there were cell towers near and it was causing a reaction in my body. My doctor said it's a real thing, in EMF sensitivity. So whether we're having that kind of more severe reaction or not, it's still affecting us. So from here, let's go ahead and bend our knees, set our feet flat. Take your feet apart as wide as your mat. And you might even take your arms out to your sides. You could go out to a T if that feels good, or just a little bit away from your body. And go ahead and just windshield wiper your legs side to side. Just go nice and slow. This is a nice, just kind of release for our lower back. And then whenever you're ready to, next time your knees come to one side, roll all the way to one side. And we're going to go ahead and come on up into a seated position. Take your time coming up. And feel free to sit up on a prop if that feels best for you and your lower back. And then we're going to grab our strap. Okay, so we're going to take that strap overhead and back behind us and just kind of pull on that strap a little bit so we get that chest nice and open. And you can straighten your arms as much as you like here. They can go a little bit more inward or they can go more outward, but just pull on the strap a little bit so we have a little bit of tension. And we're going to take an inhale, sit up as tall as you can. And then as you exhale, we're going to twist over to the right and keep pulling on the strap. And then inhale it back to the center and exhale the other way. As you twist, pull on the strap. And we're going to go side to side a few more times. So inhale center, exhale twist, and you can go ahead and do a few more rounds on your own. One more on each side. Good, and then back to the center and just release the strap down for a moment. And we're going to bring the feet flat in front of us. And we're going to take the strap back up and overhead. Maybe just go a little bit more narrow here, just maybe outer shoulders distance. Inhale, press into your sit bones, reach up tall and pull on the strap. Good, now we're going to inhale, try to reach the strap higher, and exhale, hinge forward, bringing your belly towards your thighs. Push in your feet and come back up to start. Now, if you want a little more challenge here, you could straighten your legs. So those of you who feel like you're pretty tight in those hamstrings, you're going to want to keep those knees bent. But if it feels okay, you could go with straight legs. So we're lifting and lowering a few more times. And what I want you to be aware of is, can you keep your whole spine in one piece and not bend it as you fold? So we're not rounding the back. And we're also not kinking the neck. So some of us will stick the chin forward. Keep your chin in so it's in line with the rest of your spine. Let's do 2 more cycles. Keep pulling on the strap. You're hinging right at your hips. Tone your belly as you come forward. And we've got 1 more just like this. See if you can hold it this time in the forward position. Tuck your chin, reach through the crown of your head, and pull on your strap. And then inhale, we'll come up. And exhale, release. Give those arms a little break. And now we're going to come back to cross leg, but this time put your opposite leg in the front, that like you normally would. Widen out the sit bones. And we're going to take that strap behind us again and hold on to the strap with your palms kind of facing forward. And come up to kind of about that airplane arm level again. Last time we did a twist, this time it's going to be more like a side bend. So right arm down, left arm reaches up. You can go as wide as you need to. And then go side to side. So we pull on the strap as we come center. And then we go to the other side. So on your own, let's go ahead and do a few more. So we're trying to open up into the chest area so that when we work on our balance pose, our warrior three, we're less likely to be rounded in the spine. One more time on each side. And then we're back to the center. And go ahead and just release the strap. Set it to the side toward the top of your mat. We're going to use it again later. And then bring your hands to the floor behind you. Push down, lift your chest, come into a little bit of a back bend. And as you come into that back bend, try to use your spine muscles to contract your spine inward, strengthening your back. And try not to drop your head all the way back. Keep the back of your neck long. One more breath. And then release. Come all the way up. Okay, we're going to come into tabletop. You're going to need one block. Pad those knees. So we're going to be there for a couple of different versions of tabletop. And what we're going to do initially is to put one block between the inner thighs. So I'm just going to grab a foam one. I have cork blocks, and they're a lot harder to put between the legs. Foam blocks work a lot better. Okay. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Before we move, take an inhale. Exhale, squeeze your block. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze the block. One more time. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze the block. Now adding on our cat-cow, so we take an inhale and arch the back. Move your block back with your inner thighs. Exhale, round. Move the block forward with your inner thighs. Keep going. So that squeeze is helping to strengthen the inner thighs and pelvic floor. And that can be helpful for our balance work as well. Two more cycles. Now come into the rounded position. Hold it for a moment. Push through your palms, squeeze your belly. Keep the belly squeezing, and then drop the belly coming into your cow pose. But we're going to keep the belly toning as you let that spine drop inward. The palms are pressing the floor away for one more breath. Squeeze your block. Good, and then you can release. Go ahead, take that block out and come back into a child's pose. If you don't like child's pose, you can also just rest on your forearms and stay up a little higher. We're going to be staying on our knees for a little bit. So if your knees are bothering you, you can also come up for a brief dog to get off your knees. But otherwise, just stay where you are. Another breath. All right, we're going to come back up into tabletop. And you're gonna have your two blocks right in front of your palms. So that when you put one palm on the block, your arm could be straight. So move it forward enough that you can have your palm on the block, okay? So we're gonna take right palm on the block and press that palm into the block, press your other hand into the floor, tuck your chin, and then take your left leg back behind you with your toes down on the ground. Pause there. Press down into both palms. And if you like, lift the leg off the ground. So left leg comes up, we're coming into balancing table, but we're using the block to push into. Good, slowly release, both hands down. Inhale, let's come up on the knees and straighten the arms, reach overhead. So I like to do this in between, takes the compression out of the wrist, interlace your palms, press up. And then release, other side. Left palm comes to the block, arm is straight as you can. Push through both palms. You should feel that left arm toning a bit. And then right leg back. Start with toes on the ground. And if you like, lift that leg off the ground to about hip height. We're trying to keep that pelvis neutral, not lifting through that right hip. So don't turn the pelvis open. All right, go ahead and release. And once again, either child's pose or rest on your forearms. All right, we're gonna come back up. We're gonna get ready to come up and do some standing work. So go ahead and clear your blankets off of your mat if you have some. And then find your way to downward facing dog when you are ready. Just as a transition, we're gonna make our way up to stand. So down dog, when you're ready, bend your knees, walk your hands back to your feet. Keep a good bend in those knees, and then inhale, we'll come all the way up to stand. Reach those arms overhead. And then arms down at your side. Good, let's come back to that airplane arm position. Reach through your palms, spread your palms wide. And then we're going to try heel lift. So heels lift off the ground as you're reaching wide through those arms. And then release, lower the heels, lower the arms. Good. Inhale, lift the heels, reach through the arms. This time, twist to the right. You can either keep heels up or lower them down. Inhale, center. Exhale, heels down, arms down. So you can do this with or without the heel lift as you turn. Inhale, heels lift, arms out to a T, and twist the other way. Inhale to center. Exhale, release. One more time each side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, turn. Those airplane arms. Challenge option. If you want to keep the heels up the whole time, you can on this round too. Lower them if you need to for your balance. Always go for stability. Inhale, center. Exhale, release. Take a pause. And then we'll go through a couple half sun salves. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Bring that little bend into your knees. Inhale, halfway, hands on thighs. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart or at your side. 2 more cycles. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Coming back to tuning to that inner device. Inhale, halfway throughout the practice. So notice when your mind leaves the room and goes off somewhere else. Reach up. Hands to the heart. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, grab your 2 blocks again. Put them on the ground in front of you. And we're going to bend and put the hands on the blocks. Now, if the floor feels really far away when you do this, you can grab a second set of blocks and lift it up a little bit, put another set underneath. If you're good, just stay with this. Okay, pause here. And with a little bend in your knees, send your inner thighs and pelvic floor behind you. Tuck your chin and reach the crown of the head forward. So try not to look up at me. Try to just listen. Push through your palms. You want to feel that length from tail to crown. From here, take your right arm out to the side, airplane arm. That's your inhale. Exhale, lower. Change nothing in the spine, just the arm. Left arm, inhale out to the side. And try to feel like you're lifting from your shoulder blade a bit. So you're engaging the rhomboid muscle. Release. Other side. Inhale, lift up. Use those upper back muscles. Exhale, release. One more time, other side. After you release the palms, fold forward over your legs. Let your head release, dangle it out a little bit, circle your head. And then bend your knees, inhale, reach up. All the way up, exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, we're gonna try that same thing, but we're gradually gonna make it more challenging. So this time we're gonna have hands on hips. If it's too much for you, you're going to go back to your blocks. We're going to bend those knees and hinge forward and pause. You could also put hands on your thighs or on your hips. Send your inner thighs, pelvic floor back. Tuck your chin, crown of the head forward. Tone your belly. Okay, so now we don't have the support underneath us. A little more challenging. Inhale, right arm out to the side. Exhale down. Inhale, left arm out to the side. Exhale down. One more time each side. Keep a little tone in that belly. After this second one, fold over your legs. Shake your head out in case you have any tension in your neck. And then bend your knees. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, we're going to do one more round. This time you're going to have the option of both arms coming into airplane, or you can still do one at a time. Okay, we're going to do hands on blocks again. Bend your knees, put those hands right under your shoulders. Inner thighs back, tuck your chin, crown of the head forward. Right arm out to the side. Either release it or both arms out to the side. Fly those arms up on the inhale. Exhale, touch down. One more time. Or you're alternating. Inhale, both arms out to the side. You're using your legs, your back strength. Hands down and fold. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. One more time, we're going to do it from hands on the hips, or you can use your blocks once again. So bend your knees, hinge forward, chest parallel to the ground. Inner thighs back, crown of the head forward. Inhale the right arm out and left arm out, or alternate. As you exhale, bring your hands in front of your heart. Inhale, fly them back out. Exhale, hands to your heart. One more time. Inhale. This time, exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, we're going to grab our strap again. Keep those blocks nearby. We are going to use them again. Okay. We're going to take that strap back behind us, just like we did earlier, but we're going to go more narrow this time. So we're only about a shoulder distance, hip distance apart, and your palms are going to face up, because that helps externally rotate the shoulder, which is what we want. Okay. Pull on the strap and notice how that opens your chest and your collarbones. Push up through the crown of the head and down through the feet. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend your knees. Bring your belly towards your thigh, tuck your chin in. Keep pulling on that strap, and then inhale, we're going to stand up straight. Open the collarbones, pull on the strap. Exhale, hinge forward, belly to thigh. Maybe those arms lift a bit. And again, coming up to stand, inhale. Pull on the strap. Exhale, coming forward, belly to thigh. Hold it this time. Tuck the chin, lengthen from tail to crown. Option to fold over your legs. That's too much, stay halfway. And lift the shoulder heads. Use your upper back. Push into the feet slowly. Come back up. Gonna take your time. Keep the strap in one hand, but just roll your shoulders out a little bit. Okay, we're gonna do that again, and we're gonna start to add in a little element of balance. I'm gonna turn sideways. We're gonna take that strap behind us again. And this time, let's step the left foot forward, right foot is a little back. So we're almost like we're in a pyramid pose here. Pull on that strap. Inhale, lift your chest. Slight bend in your front knee. Exhale, hinge forward. Keep pulling on that strap. Inhale, coming up. Good. Exhale, come forward. This time, option, get light on that right foot. You might come to your toe. And then heel down, come back up. Okay, we're going to repeat. Little bend in that knee as you come forward. Some of you might be able to get the foot off the ground. Don't force it. You can always just keep your toe down and release back to start. Good. 2 more rounds on your own. So you could stick with the foot down, you could come on your toe, or you can lift the foot off the ground. You have options. One more time, then we'll switch sides. Maybe this last one, you could hold it for a moment wherever you are, either toe down, toe up. And when you're ready, release. Let it go, shake it out, roll those shoulders out. Okay, let's go ahead, switch the legs, right leg forward, left leg back. And strap comes behind you with your palms facing up. Hold on a second here. Okay, so we're about shoulders distance, hips distance apart. We're pulling on that strap. Inhale, exhale, first round. Keep that heel on the ground. Just a slight bend in your front knee. And then inhale, come up. Good. On your own, starting to progress it. Coming forward, maybe coming onto that toe. Shift your weight forward. Coming back. And try a few more rounds. Try not to lift that shin. Maybe the foot comes off the ground. Only if you feel really steady here. Let's do 2 more cycles. Last round, you hold a bit if you can. Good. On this last one, see if you can hold it. Either toe down, foot up, or heel down, your choice. And then release. All right, set that strap toward the top of your mat. And shake it out, roll those shoulders out. Make sure blocks are still at the top of your mat if they're not there. And let's make our way to the ground. So we'll stand in mountain pose. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale to your halfway lift. And we're going to step back to plank pose, top of a push-up. Drop those knees down and lower to your belly. Okay. So we're going to come on our belly and put our hands up on the blocks. One hand on each block. We're going to press down into those blocks and try to lift the chest, but tuck your chin, look down. Firm your arms. Feel like you're turning your elbow creases slightly up without lifting your palms. One more breath. And release. Stack up your palms. Rest your head a moment. Give your hips a little shimmy side to side. And now we're going to prop up into Sphinx. Elbows in line with shoulders, wrists in line with elbows. Push through your palms, lift your chest. As you push down into your palms, drag the palms isometrically toward your feet and drag your heart forward so you can get those upper spine muscles to work. Stay here or option to pick your feet off the ground. And we'll use a little more hamstring. Press down, lift the chest up. One more breath. Good back body strengthener. And then we're going to release. Come down, give those hips a little wiggle. So all this work is really great for our spine. The muscles along the spine get weak, especially as we age with gravity and body posture habits. So this is really good work for countering when we tend to slump our posture. Okay, palms back up on the blocks. Press through the tailbone, the tops of the feet, lift your chest, tuck your chin, and see if we can take one arm out to the side like airplane and lift it up. Take it back to the block. Other arm out to the side. Lift that arm up. Back to the block. Inhale, lift your chest, tailbone down. Option, both arms out to the side. That's too much. Do one at a time again. And then hands back to the blocks. When you're ready, lift up one more time. And let it go. Give those hips a good wiggle again. Every time helps release the tension in the back, because this does put a demand on those lower back muscles. Okay, grab your strap again. Take your strap back behind you. Hold the strap in each hand with your palms facing up. Put the forehead on the ground. I'm going to keep turning my head towards you, but you put your forehead on the ground just so I can talk easier. Lift the shoulder heads off the ground. Use those rhomboids. Keep the chin in and try to lift the back of your skull. Lift the arms if you want, but pull on the strap. And then release. You might turn your head to one side or keep it neutral. We're going to repeat again. If you want to, add your leg lift this time. Okay? Head center, tuck your chin in. Lift the shoulders first. Then lift your head and chest. Don't lift your chin. Option to lift your arms. Option to lift your legs. Pull on the strap. Good. Release. Let everything go. Rest down. Okay, a little bit of work with the legs. Ooh, we're running out of time. We're going to bend the right knee. Flex the foot. And then press the thigh down into the ground first. Then try to lift the thigh off the ground. Repeat 2 more times. Press the thigh down. And then lift the thigh up. So we're engaging the back of the glute and the hamstring. Very helpful for when we do warrior 3. After this, we're going to move to our peak pose. Last time, press down and lift up. And then slowly release. Okay, other side. A lot of us, these hamstrings cramp up or weak, so be careful. If it does cramp up, take a break. And let's try the other side. Press the thigh into the ground and then try to lift it up. Foot is flexed. 2 more on your own. Press down and lift up. 1 more time. And then we're going to let that foot slowly come down. Slide your hands back. Let's go ahead and either come into table for hip circles or back to child's pose. Okay, let's go ahead and come back to standing. We'll come through dog. So back to tabletop. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. And then with your knees bent, walk those hands back to your feet. We'll bring hands to hips and we'll come all the way back up to stand. Good. Okay, get your blocks. We're going to work on our peak pose. blocks right in front of you, and we'll just come into mountain pose for a moment. So stand tall, take a couple of breaths. Just check in, see if we can make sure we're bringing that tuning back inward, concentrating. So balance really takes a lot of our concentration and awareness. We can't be focusing outward, got to be focusing inward. Let's go ahead and bend the knees and bring hands to the blocks. Okay, pause there. Push through your palms. Spiral your elbow creases a little forward, and that'll help you engage your arms. Make sure chin is tucked, back of the neck is long. And then from here, we're going to take that right leg back behind us. To start with your toe down. And then we're going to bend the knee and bring the heel in, little squeeze, and try to lift your thigh up with the leg bent. Let's do that again. Lower, tap the toe down, bend the knee, squeeze it in, and then lift the thigh up. Now, if you want, adding on, straighten the leg, or you can keep it bent if it's too much. Bend that knee back in, and lower, tap down. One more time. Squeeze it in, lift it up, possibly extend it. Belly is toned as well. Bring it back in. And this time, release it and fold over your legs. Shake out your head. It's very hard not to accumulate neck tension there. And then let's inhale all the way up. Arms reach. Exhale, hands to your heart, tuning back inward. All right, other side, hands down. Take that left leg back behind you, toe on the floor. And we're going to bend the knee, squeeze it in, lift the thigh. First round, no extension. Lower it, tap it down. Make sure those elbow creases are slightly turning forward. It's a very small movement. Lift, option to extend that leg. Bend it again and lower. One more cycle. Next round, we're going to add in an arm. Try to keep your standing leg firming in. It tends to want to sway out to the side. After this one, hold forward. Shake that head out. And then when you're ready, inhale. We're coming all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a pause. We've got just one more cycle, guys. Doing great. Working hard today. Okay, hands back down. Right leg back behind you. Bend your knee. Lift the thigh. Option to extend. Hold it there. Elbow creases turn forward. Tone your belly. Tuck your chin. If you want, opposite arm is going to go forward. So left arm. You can also take it out to a T like our airplane arm, or behind you like we did with our belt. Some of those might feel a little easier or accessible. When you're ready, release the foot. Hold over your leg, shake your head out. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. So just know you can do what works best for you. You can always keep the toe on the ground. You can skip the arm. Just do what works best in your body today. Last round. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Left leg comes back. You can either keep that toe down or bend the knee, lift the thigh, maybe straighten the leg. Squeeze an imaginary block between your inner thighs. Option to take that arm forward or out to the side or behind you. Whichever one feels most accessible. Tone your belly, last breath. Hand down, foot down, fold over your legs. Inhale, we're coming all the way up, last time. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, we're gonna come down to sit and finish up with a few cool down poses. So you can find your blanket or pillow to sit on again. And then let's have your second blanket come back to the trifold that we did earlier. And we're gonna put that underneath the backs of the knees. So one blanket under the sit bones, one under the knees, sit up tall. Okay, bring those legs pretty close together. And we're gonna bend the right knee. If you can, you're gonna bring it behind the blanket, maybe tuck your toes underneath. If that feels too close, you can keep it in front or even on top. But behind is probably gonna be more ideal for what we're doing, if you can. Hug your shin, sit up tall, draw your shoulders back. Hold on with your left hand, reach your right arm up. Inhale, try to touch the ceiling. Exhale, come into the twist. And then straight leg pushes down into the blanket as you lift your chest up. Some of you might hook the elbow past the knee if that's natural for you. Otherwise, just stay holding on to the shin. And next inhale, unwind it back to the start and switch your legs. Hug the shin, pull back on the shin to open the chest and collarbones. Straight leg roots down. And then go ahead, hold on with right hand, inhale, left arm up. Try to touch the ceiling and twist. Either staying there, hooking the elbow if you like. Breathing here. Let's take 2 more cycles. On your next inhale, unwind it back to the start. Both legs out straight with that blanket under the backs of the knees. Let's pull the sit bones back and slightly apart and widen the legs about outer hips distance. Okay, let's inhale the arms out to the sides and overhead. Interlace your palms. So we're going to get long first, but then I want us to take a nice relaxing forward fold because most of the practice was using our spine muscles. So now we'll relax the spine muscles. Let's hinge at the hips. Bring your hands down, ankles, shins, or feet. Pause there. Inhale, lift up one more time. And then exhale, we're going to soften and fold. Just let those back muscles stretch out and release. If you are close to the ground, feel free to put your blocks under your forehead. And stack those blocks up any which way. And give yourself a head support, will be more relaxed. We're going to hold it here another minute or two, so stay with it. Causes any discomfort, stay up higher. Maybe even just stay vertical. Otherwise, we're going to take a few more breaths. Last couple of breath cycles. Make sure we're tuning back inward. Okay, let's very slowly start to walk your hands up your legs. So try not to use your back muscles. Take your time. When you get to the top, pause in the vertical position. Two more breaths here, sitting upright. After that second breath, let's go ahead and come onto our backs. But what I want to do is reset up that position from the beginning of practice. So if you did the trifold for under your knees, that's all ready for you. So let's put that down behind you, and then either a pillow or a folded blanket for your head. We're going to sit down in front of it just like we did in the beginning, lengthen back down. That should feel a nice support for your spine after all that work. Before Shavasana though, let's widen those feet and do those windshield wipers just like we did in the beginning. Just move really slowly so you don't mess up that blanket underneath you. Maybe your head is going to start to go opposite of your knees. And we're back to the center. So same options for your legs. You can have feet flat, legs straight, or bound angle might feel good because we did a lot of hugging in. It might be nice to open those hips up. So if you want to, you can stick your blocks underneath the knees and come into bound angle. Or you could certainly do any other leg position that you like. So we'll stay here for a few minutes of Shavasana. We're going to end with a brief seated practice. So allow yourself this time to let go, particularly through all of those spinal muscles that we worked really hard today. So let the shoulders spread into the ground, collarbones broadening. And imagine that all of those spinal muscles were melting over that blanket, releasing all the effort there in our spine. Bring a soft breath into your abdomen. As you continue to relax, connecting with the frequency of the ground. So in my research about these EMFs, one of the things that's recommended is to spend time in nature, especially if we could put our bare feet on the ground. Not so easy this time of year, but connecting with those earth energies, what comes from nature, what comes from God or the divine is very different frequency from something from man-made frequencies. We ground ourselves by connecting to this kind of slow, stable energy of the earth. Even our practice itself brings us into a more harmonious frequency where we feel peace, maybe joy, love. All of these things have a different frequency from stress, anger, greed, all the other lower vibration types of things. The more we come into this kind of state of being, this frequency, the healthier it is for our system, our heart rate, our nervous system. We disconnect from the outer and reconnect to the inner. All right, everyone, we're going to start to come back now. Take a few deeper breaths. Notice how you feel. Take any movement when you're ready, but just keep it slow. Stay like slow motion mode. And as you feel ready to, you could come over onto your side for a pause. After that pause on your side, slowly make your way back up to a seated posture. Sitting however you're comfortable. You might need a prop underneath your sit bones. Once you arrive, widen out those sit bones again so you feel very grounded. Imagining the spine kind of like an antenna, so it's receiving both the ground frequency and also kind of reaching up toward that kind of universal frequency. We're going to put one hand on the belly, one hand on the forehead. And if you're comfortable, close your eyes. Find a soft breath. These are two areas that are associated with our intuition, which is that inner signal that we can listen to, that we can tune into. Our gut instinct in the belly, very much connected to the brain. And then the hand is at the third eye, brow center. When we place our hands on the body, it brings blood flow to those particular areas. Taking a couple more breaths, just connecting to that signal within. Our own inner signal, that intuition, that inner wisdom really gets drowned out when we're tuning into all those outside frequencies. We can't think for ourselves. So the stiller, the more quiet we get, the more we can tune in to what's best for ourselves. Let's release the hands down to the thighs. Take a couple more breaths. And then I'll finish with this little quote that I found the other day. Everything changes when you start to emit your own frequency rather than absorbing the frequencies around you. When you start imprinting your intent on the universe rather than receiving an imprint from existence, everything changes. So we'll see if we can hold on to this frequency for a little bit longer in our day. Let's bring hands together now in front of the heart space. Take an inhale, heart lifting, and as you exhale, bowing inside. Namaste. All right, thank you guys.